Okay, so we have to start with question 7 today. Dilute ethanoic acid reacts with the aqueous calcium hydroxide. Okay, a student reacts 25 centimeter cube of 0.01 mole per dm cube aqueous calcium hydroxide with dilute ethanoic acid using thymolphthalein as an indicator. A 12.5 centimeter cube of dilute ethanoic acid reacts exactly with 0.01 mole per dm cube of aqueous calcium hydroxide. Calculate the concentration in mole per dm cube of dilute ethanoic acid. Okay, if you see, they have given you the volume and concentration both of calcium hydroxide, and they have given you the volume of ethanoic acid and asking you to calculate the concentration of dilute ethanoic acid. Brian, I think your answer is wrong. Yeah, for a pure bromine, you can write red brown, but when it's an aqueous, you will write orange in color. Okay, now, so we got the concentration and volume of calcium hydroxide. See, this is the volume and this is the concentration of calcium hydroxide, and it have only the volume of dilute ethanoic acid, right? So, and if you see over here, we got the ratio of between these two as well from the balanced equation. So first I am going to calculate the moles of calcium hydroxide because its concentration and volume is known, right? So the concentration is 0.01 and the volume is 25, which is centimeter cube. So I have to divide it with 1000. So when you divide it with 1000, it will become 25 divided by 1000 will become 0.025. When you multiply it with 0.01, it is going to be 2.5 exponent minus 4 moles. So these are the moles of calcium hydroxide. Is this clear to all of you? Now, after this, we will calculate the mole ratio. Calcium hydroxide is to ethanoic acid. Yes, Ram. So the ratio is there is a 1 mole of calcium hydroxide in the balance equation and 2 moles of ethanoic acid. So the moles of calcium hydroxide that we have is 2.5 exponent minus 4. The moles of ethanoic acid would be x. So if we calculate the x, it is going to be 2.5 exponent minus 4 multiplied by 2 divided by 1. So it's 5.0 exponent minus 4, right? But these are the moles and they are asking you to calculate the concentration. Yeah. So for a concentration of ethanoic acid, we got the moles. Moles divided by the volume. Volume is 12.5, but it's in centimeter cube, so we have to divide it with 1000. Is this clear to all of you? Can anyone calculate it and tell me the answer, please? Yes, can anyone calculate it and tell me the answer? Okay. So it's 0.04 mole per dm cube. State the color of thymolphthalein in aqueous calcium hydroxide. Okay. Yeah, thymolphthalein is blue in color. So you have to in alkali it's blue in color, and in acid it's colorless. So you have to remember this. Blue. Ethanoic acid is a weak acid. Define the term weak in phrase of weak acid. So we know which dissociates incompletely, right? Yeah, which partially ionizes is also correct. Now, write the formula of the ions present in the aqueous solutions of acids. So all the acids has one ion in common, that is a hydrogen ion. Yes, very good, Ryan. Now D, dilute ethanoic acid reacts with sodium carbonate. Okay. Calculate the volume measured at RTP of a carbon dioxide. So you must remember that it's a gas. In centimeter cube, when 3.18 gram of sodium carbonate was reacted with excess dilute ethanoic acid. So we got has a mass of sodium carbonate. So we first find the moles of sodium carbonate, right? So moles equals to mass divided by MR. The mass is 3.18, and for an MR, it's 23 times 2 plus 12 plus 3 times 16. So 3 times 16 is 48. 48 plus 12 is 60. 12 plus 46 is 4106. So 3.18 divided by 106. Can anyone calculate and tell me the answer, please? Okay. So it's 0.03 moles. Okay. Now we got the moles. Now take the mole ratio between these two. The mole ratio is 1 is to 1. So sodium carbonate is to carbon dioxide is 1 is to 1. So 0.03 is to X. Then X would be 0.03 moles. So these are the moles of carbon dioxide. Is this clear to all of you? Now, if we have to find the volume of a gas, so the volume of gas is equals to its moles multiply by 24 decimeter cube or 24,000 centimeter cube, as they have given you the centimeter cube. So you will multiply it with 24,000 centimeter cube. So 0.03 multiplied by 24,000. Can anyone now tell me the answer, please? So it's 720. Thank you, Hasnan and Rahim. So we got the volume 720 centimeter cube. Is this clear to all of you? Now, E part. Sulfur dioxide contributes to acid rain. State one source of sulfur dioxide in air. Yeah, very good, Rahim. It's a combustion of a fossil fuel. Describe one method of reducing sulfur dioxide getting into the air. And the method is flue gas desulfurization. Yeah, volcanic eruption can be the source, but it usually not occur so much that it can contribute a heavy acid rain. Normally, sulfur dioxide becomes a pollutant because of the burning of the fossil fuels which contains the sulfur. Okay. Now, in the contact process, sulfur dioxide reacts with oxygen. Complete the symbolic equation for this reaction. So we know when sulfur dioxide and oxygen react, sulfur dioxide would form SO3. So we put a 2 over here. Is this clear to all of you? Okay. Now, next we have a question number 8. Ethanoic acid is manufactured from methanol. The forward reaction is exothermic. So if the forward reaction is exothermic, then the backward reaction must be endothermic. Predict and explain the effect, if any, on the position of equilibrium when the pressure is decreased, temperature remain constant. So remember, when the pressure decrease, equilibrium shifts towards more moles of gases. So if you see here, we have a 1 mole of a gas, and on the reactant side, we have a 2 moles of gas. So when we are decreasing the pressure, equilibrium shifts to the left, equilibrium shifts to the backward, as there are more moles of the gas on left. Okay. So the position of equilibrium shifts to the left as left side has more moles of gases. Is this clear to all of you? Now, predict and explain the effect, if any, on the position of equilibrium when temperature is decreased. So remember, temperature decreases, equilibrium shifts towards the exothermic side. And if you see here, the forward is exothermic side. They are not asking about bond making, what you are, uh, Yusuf. They are asking the position of equilibrium. So temperature, lowering the temperature, equilibrium shifts towards the exothermic side, and our forward reaction is exothermic. So I can write that the position of equilibrium shifts to the right as forward reaction is exothermic. Is this clear? Now, B. Ethanoic acid can be produced by bacterial oxidation. Describe one other method by making ethanoic acid by oxidizing an alcohol other than methanol. Okay, ethanoic acid. So, what alcohol we use? Yes, very good, Shayan. It's a ethanoic acid, so we must need an alcohol which has a 2 carbons, so ethanol. And the name of oxidizing agent. So we know the oxidizing agent is acidified potassium manganate 7. Okay, now C part. Ethanoic acid reacts with propane 1-ol to produce an ester. Name the ester and draw its displayed formula. So see, ethanoic acid. So it's a carboxylic acid. So it will become an ester. Its name becomes ethanoid, and it's a propanol. So it will become propyl. And So the name of the ester would be propyl ethanoate. Is this understandable? Yes, very good, Ahmad. If any one of you has any confusion, please ask. Okay, now displayed formula. So as we know that from alcohol, hydrogen has been released, right? For esterification. So displayed formula C, there are three carbons in that alcohol. So I'll make three carbons. First carbon has a three hydrogen. Second carbon has a two hydrogen. Third carbon has a two hydrogen and one oxygen. After that, there is a hydrogen, but that hydrogen is replaced by the carbon. Now, in ethanoic acid, there are two carbons. So we are going to put two carbons over here. One of the carbon has a C double bond O, and the other carbon has three hydrogen. So C, it becomes propyl ethanoate. And that is the displayed formula because all of them, they're all the bonds are shown. Okay. Now, question number 9. Table 9.1 shows the melting point and the relative electrical conductivities of three elements. Okay. Use the idea about structure and bonding to explain the difference in the melting point of magnesium and phosphorus. So we can say that magnesium has a very high, relatively very high melting point than phosphorus. So magnesium has giant metallic lattice. How do we know? Because it's a good conductor of electricity and it's a metal, right? So giant metallic lattice and as it has a good conductor of electricity, so I will write and C of mobile electrons. Instead mobile electrons, you will write delocalized electrons. Okay. And further I will write that it has strong metallic bonds, or instead of metallic bonds, you can write a strong electrostatic forces of attraction between cations. Yeah, but you have to mention the metallic bond later then, Hassan. Cations and C of mobile electrons. Then we will write about phosphorus, that phosphorus has simple covalent molecule and weak forces of attraction between molecules. Is this clear? Now, second part, the difference in the electrical conductivities of graphite and phosphorus. So we know that in graphite, mobile electrons are present which can move, and in phosphorus there are no free moving electrons. Now B part. Diamond and graphite are different forms of carbon. Explain in terms of its structure and bonding why diamond is used in cutting. So the first thing, that it has giant covalent lattice and strong covalent bonds between all the atoms in lattice. That makes it very strong, and as a result, it is used as a tool for cutting. Is this clear to all of you? Now, C part. A compound of phosphorus, oxygen, and chlorine contains 20.2% phosphorus, 10.4% oxygen, and 69.4% chlorine. Reduce the empirical formula of this compound. So phosphorus, okay, phosphorus, oxygen, chlorine, 20.2, 10.4, and 69.4. So first we have to divide them with their AR. So the phosphorus 31, 16, 35.5. Can anyone calculate the values and tell me the answer, please? Point 0.65. Okay. 0.65. Thank you, Rahim. Okay, and then 1.95. So 0.65 is the smallest. So we divide all the values with 0.65. So here I will get 1, here I will get 1, and here 1.95 divided by 0.6, it's 3. So POCl3. Is this clear? Okay. So we have completed the paper. Okay. Uh, no, it won't be wrong. You can write like P, Cl, and O. But the easiest way for doing this, like they have written phosphorus first, so write phosphorus first, then they have written oxygen, then they have written chlorine, so keep that order. Okay. So we are going to do the next paper in tomorrow's class, and whatever paper you guys are doing and you will find any difficulty, you can WhatsApp me all of your queries. Okay.